Hi, it's Red Snapper, and welcome to the Showgirl's Closet. 'Tis time for the raptor. It is raptor season. The raptor is upon us. Yes, I have a raptor costume. Here's the backstory. I have wanted to do a showgirl dinosaur act forever, but because I'm me, it has to be built from scratch. As part of my research, I bought this crazy raptor Halloween costume. I wanted to see how it was put together so I could put the whole thing on and try to use inspiration from it. If there was a great way something was cut, then, I might trace that out onto paper and do my own version of it. It was 2020. I had the space to try to figure it out, and I wound up ordering this ridiculous thing. Now, I will say it wouldn't work for what I have in mind because, I want to go from dinosaur into showgirl. I started my subscription to Manuja's Patreon in 2020 specifically so I could troubleshoot this costume. And she gave me some great ideas because I wanted a dinosaur that would be portable, even though I'm not necessarily touring a whole lot. But hey, you want me to tour to your city? Let's talk. I really wanted something that was easy to put, to fold up and stuff in a suitcase. And this would not be that. This is very awkward, but it's very fun, and I have kept it just because it's hilarious. It's perfect for times like this. This also will show you kind of what to expect with these creature in a bag kind of costumes. So let's check it out. It's a very fluffy costume. It's stuffed with polyfill. So when I received it, I ordered it. It was brand new. It came from HalloweenCostumes.com. This is not sponsored by HalloweenCostumes.com, and I have no idea if they even exist anymore. We live in crazy times. Anyway, it was so big, it had popped the snaps open. It's like so fluffy, and you can't keep the snaps closed on this thing. It's very puffy. What is in here? Oh, I have a sachet filled with lavender in here so it doesn't smell. All right, and you can see on the front what it looks like. It's interesting the way this is put together because there are things that I can't say I would want to do in building my own thing. All right, so the head, it's stuffed. All of this part is stuffed. This is, I guess, kind of soft sculpture. Nutmeg's getting excited about this. All soft sculpture in here. I mean, I could rhinestone the eyes, but this would be hard to work with and have it be the act that I have in mind. And I don't want to strip out of this. Nikita Bitch Project has a wonderful Godzilla act, and this is not that. This is not Godzilla, and I don't want to do a dinosaur version of her act because her Go-Go Godzilla is a lot of fun. And Joe Boobs had a Godzilla act ages ago to Go-Go Godzilla. So, not doing Godzilla. Want a dinosaur, but want something that's my own. What I'm trying to do for this act, what I have in mind and have had in mind for 5+ years, is kind of a reverse of my crustacean manifestation where I go from showgirl to crawdad. It would be going from dinosaur to showgirl. It's kind of funny. I like transformations. All right, so here we go. Here's the front. Now, when you buy things like this, things in a bag, there are sometimes, threads that have not been clipped or nipped. Somehow I didn't bother clipping that off. The back, you can see it has this, I think this is like iron-on foam, maybe a 1/4 inch thick, stuck in here to give it a little bit of shape in the back. And this, I have a small head, and there's nothing firm in here. This is all very soft. For this to be a successful kind of thing, this needs to be hard on top of the head. Even if it's like a ball cap stuck up there, you need something so that the elastic and this stretch doesn't pull this further you know, and your head sinks in and then it's stretching out and your head just keeps sinking in and it keeps stretching. Like, something needs to be hard here for this to work. We need soft plus hard for this to be functional. But it is what it is. I think I paid about $100 for it back then. And this, I think you can see my wristwatch through there. This is a sheer panel. So this is where one would look out to the audience, and it's screen printed like the rest of the fabric. All right, there's the head, and here is the body. More of that foam. The foam gives it shape, and look at this. Threads that need to be clipped all over the place. But there's elastic here. This would go over the shoe. The toenails are stuffed, so they have the right profile. And I mean, this could be shoved into a suitcase, but it would need to be held down. Look at this. It is not sealed up right here. Whoops, they forgot something. Or maybe they just didn't do it. Padded thighs, padded tail. Let's see if we can look inside at the tail. This one they sealed up. But this is stuffed with polyfill like it's a teddy bear. There's no wire. If there was a wire, that would be cool because, well, you got a lot of polyfill in here. You'll see how it sits on my body. I wore this costume in one of my Patreon videos, which it's a lot of fun. I make a cocktail while dressed as a dinosaur. That was a delight. I really enjoyed doing that. All right, the chest is padded. The arms are not, and the hands, you see this is closed off here. There's elastic that goes basically over the wrist. So your hands are free inside of this. Zipper up the back, and it has, I want to say it's got a snap somewhere. So there are snaps in here so that you can secure, maybe there's just one snap to secure the head. But the head it's weird because it kind of has a collar. So note that this snap is on the inside. And, I guess, so you're supposed to tuck the back. I'll show you how it looks tucked in and untucked, and you can tell me in the comments how weird it is, how weird the construction is. Okay, so I'm going to get dressed into this ridiculous thing. This is gonna be fun. Here it is. Okay, I just want to point out, and hopefully you can hear me okay, because my face is in here. I have 2 left feet. I ordered this in 2020 when they were trying to figure out how do we do returns for things when people are ordering things. Like, I ordered some dishes and they sent me the wrong ones, and they said, "Oh, you just keep those. We'll send you some new ones." Because nobody knew what to do about exchanges. During COVID times, there was no telling what you could return, and I was like, yeah, okay, this figures. And I lived with it. I bought it for research purposes. Okay, I'm gonna have to take off this head in a moment and open things up, but I do want to show, right, you see how this is tucked in and it's kind of awkward. Like weird snake neck thing, and I've got all this padding under here. It's just bizarre the way that this is put together. So that's the snap that holds this thing on. It's just weird. It's really weird, and there's only one to hold it on. I guess maybe if you have a very long neck, but the shoulders are where the shoulders are. So there's not going to be that much. You're not going to have a 9-foot long neck. This is not made for giraffes. You can see how it looks. Oh, it's falling off my head. You can see how it looks, when it's out. And that's also weird. It's just weird. Also, you notice the eyes are not looking to camera, and you see how it's moving around on my head. There's nothing hard in there. What do I do if there's nothing hard? It's all too soft for me to do anything with. It rolls around on my head because there's nothing hard. I will show you in another episode something that is hard and does the job. So stay tuned. In May, you'll get to see an amazing hard thing that gets it done for me. And I am so glad that it does, because that has far more endurance than this thing does. I mean, it's cute. You could wear it for Halloween, for sure. And it is HalloweenCostumes.com. But yeah, this, you could see how it was rolling around on my head. An important thing in puppetry. Now, I'm no brilliant puppeteer. I have been paid as a professional puppeteer, which is hilarious, but Mr. Snapper is more of a professional puppeteer. He's been paid a lot more and more often to do it than I have. Eye focus is important. In order for people to connect with a puppet, they need to be able to see the eyes. So when this is on top of my head and it's going, ooh, look, here's my chin, that's not good eye focus. It looks like, somebody who doesn't know how to do puppetry, and it's all, instead of, eye focus. That's one of the things about our favorite childhood shows that starred puppets. The Muppet Show, Sesame Street, even Fraggle Rock. I didn't get Fraggle Rock because we didn't have HBO in my neighborhood when I was a kid, but Fraggle Rock now, all of these great things, Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas, the eyes are not up here. They're, to camera, to their eye level with other characters in the show, people, puppets. So always look at eye. And this does not quite do that. Sorry, buddy. It is fun. And it was hilarious doing the Patreon episode where I wore this thing, because it's like, how do we do eye focus? How do I do what I'm doing with this thing and, have the head look to camera? It was a lot of fun. All right, so here are my mitts. I could go wrist. I don't have long arms. This is a large. I figured chest, but I should go with a large, and I was right there, but it's got long arms. So these are I'm like a child with mittens about to go out in the snow. This is clever though, because, it covers things. So something like this might be useful to me if I do wind up executing the Dinosaur showgirl. I bought fabric for it in the sale while Joann Fabrics was closing. I bought fabric. I was like, ooh, that is scaly but kind of feathery, and I like it. All right, so you see how the hips are. This one's a little collapsed. I mean, it's a consumer product. This is not meant to be on stage. Oh, right. Okay. I talked about hard things, and I need something hard right here. You see that tail? You see how it's pulling down and flopping and it's not balancing? Now, when I was a kid, dinosaur books showed dinosaurs dragging their tails like some grand bridal train. They're useful. Tails are useful. They're used for balance. How the hell is anybody going to balance anything when it's like pulling way down? And it's soft, too. I showed you it was polyfill. I think it might have it has some foam structure in it, but there's nothing hard. There's nothing to keep it erect. You see? Nothing to keep the tail from folding, and that's probably smart. You put somebody managing their kids in this for Halloween, and they probably need something that's not hard. I mean, they had kids. I guess it was hard enough. I made a tail for the award-winning Icky Muffin, fabulous aerialist and burlesque performer who's won prizes. Amazing, amazing performer. I made a tail for Icky, and it behaved a bit more like a tail should. And it was on something hard, too. It had a wire to keep it intact, and it was something not like, oh, I'm pinning this cat tail to the back of my britches because it's Halloween and I'm a cat hoe, whatever. If there was a wire in here, that would help. But also, it's got a soft base, just like in the head. There's the soft base. So while it's sitting on my butt, it would sit on my butt a lot better if it was on something hard.
Kind of like that.
Kind of like that. Yeah, that's how it would sit. but it doesn't, and it kind of pulls funny. Or, well, I said something hard, right? If this part, I understand why it's stretchy. I understand why the costume is stretchy, because you're trying to fit shorter, more curvy people, very tall, slender people into this one size. So it's made to fit some measurements. But if this was attached on something hard, if this area here, if it was on like a girdle, then it might be a little bit more erect. You know what I'm saying? There's so much stretch in here, and it's all so soft that I've got a flaccid tail. But it's fun. I did learn some things from it. I have used it to create content a couple times now. So, woo, look at this. But the raptor is upon us. And I wanted to share this with you. If you do look for something like this, know that there can be weirdnesses and flaws. I feel like people shouldn't be surprised when they purchase things. So know that the feet might be stupid. You might have 2 left feet. This might just be how they made it. They might not have reversed the pattern. This may be no accident. Who's gonna notice? Dinosaur nerds. Thank you very much. But yeah, interesting, fun, definitely a Halloween costume. It's not durable enough for this showgirl to do what this showgirl wants to do. Need something a little harder. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please be sure to like, subscribe, boop that bell for notifications. Thanks so much to my patrons for supporting this nonsense and all of the other nonsense. I appreciate you so much, and you'll see me next time. Bye.